Hello everyone. Let us look into physical chaos in cryptography. This is one of the most important topics in cryptography. We are going to basically look up into lava lamps and bubble tubes for this mainly. Okay, why do we need an unpredictable foundation for a cryptography? See, we usually use pseudo-random number generators, which are known as PRNGs, which actually use some algorithm to produce a key that is used to encrypt a message. So these algorithms can be sometimes predictive. So we need to use physical chaos cryptography, in which it uses real world physical systems to produce a genuine and unbiased entropy which can be used to encrypt and decrypt so secure manner. Okay, before that, yeah, this is how it works. PRNG uses algorithms that are predictable, while physical chaos uses real world stuffs that are not predictable. Yeah, so let us understand the difference between chaos and randomness. Randomness is a number generating random which can be sometimes occurring in a pattern. While what is a chaos? Chaos is not in a deterministic manner. Let us consider this chaos with an example known as butterfly effect. What is butterfly effect? Butterfly effect states that uh, flapping of wings by a butterfly can cause a hurricane weeks later. What does it exactly mean? So it says that a small change in value can bring up a lot more difference when it is looked into the long term. That's what same works in the cryptography. The small changes you make into the value will give you so different number of keys that are so unpredictable in nature. Okay, to understand it more better, we have to look into the logistic map. What it states? It states this, we can use this to the predict some function that is like varying in a range called a range or a rate of change known as R in this as we see in this formula. This R can be anything from any value. See, for example, let us consider a population growth. What will be the population growth in 2026 if it changes in a rate R and the current population is xn? Okay, this is how we calculate the function. So the next thing what it states is that when we see this, a small change in the value of R can give a lot more change in the outcome. So also in when the R is between 3.57 and 4, this function starts to behave so chaotic that the value becomes mostly unpredictable and it branches out into so much values. Let us look into an image showing it. Hmm. Let us look into this. When we see this, we see that R value is 3.4. We have a stable differentiation pattern. We see a repeating pattern every time. But when we look into 3.6, 3.7, 3.83, the chaos starts to increase. And when it reaches 4, it is extreme chaos. The value ranges from 0.999 to 0.004, which is like a starting to ending. This is how a graph would look if the graph is plotted between 3.57 to 4 for an logistic logistic function when R is between 3.57 and 4. These differences and this painted kind of thing shows us the chaotic nature of this logistic function that behaves. Okay. Okay. Why is the randomness called an unbreakable law when it is called a true randomness? True randomness is something that you can't open through brute force or it is impossible to guess. While what is PRNG? PRNG has a vulnerability that if the key or an algorithm is reverse engineered, the attacker may even find the pattern and may able to crack the keys. While physical chaos has a greater number of entropy that randomness is so chaotic it is not easy for the attacker to find the values. Okay, let us dive into lava lamps. So Cloudflare uses a different type of name for Lavarand. Okay, exactly what is Cloudflare? We all know Whenever we log into a website, we may see Cloudflare is checking if you are a human. Cloudflare is checking whether you are a human, and also Cloudflare is one of the most used or most dependent company for internet on managing network traffic, managing network attackers, and also keeping the website safe and data safe. Cloudflare handling such so many important and how to say so many sensitive data cannot have simple algorithms or an PRNG that is so predictable. So Cloudflare thought of an idea introducing lava lamps. What it does, they have a whole big wall mounted with full of lava lamps which changes in color due to motion, due to temperature, and even someone passing it. These data are captured through a camera, and these visuals are converted into a cryptographic key later on. What does a lava blob made up of? Usually, the lava lamp is made up of molten wax of different densities, so they don't mix and they form a different pattern. Let us see a video of lava lamp. When you see, you can see that the two two different wax coatings or wax densities, they don't mix, while showing us as totally different patterns when we look at them. Each lava lamp has a different pattern which are so unpredictable. Okay. What does a why lava lamps are have an higher entropy? This uses non-linear fluid dynamics. That is, thermal and fluid interaction cannot be mixed in it, and also blob's movement is not alone influenced by heat or an fluid movement. Also, these produce unpredictable patterns because we have thousands of lava lamps and they each give us a different value each time, and they don't even like follow a pattern. And also what happens when an external influence takes place? Even external influence like temperature, gravity, and even a human walking by may produce some kind of turbulence that changes how the lava lamp and the lava lamp structure look like. This also helps us generating a larger number of entropy, which is not alone eye appealing, and also it is also not repeating, and it can be used so well to prevent ourselves from attackers by forming different types of keys each and every time. Let us look into quantifying an entropy. We usually use an entropy function called Shannon entropy to quantify these entropies. Actually, this function gives us an equation like minus summation of pxi log base to pxi. What does a maximum entropy throws? Maximum entropy gives us a uniform distribution which is high in distribution, which tells us that the higher the entropy value, higher the randomness. Also, this gives us a no bias or no predictable patterns, which may help us in generating different kind of secure keys. Let us look into an example of a coin. When we toss a normal coin, we can say the entropy of getting head and tails are 50-50. While a biased coin that gives a head, we usually know when we toss a coin, we know the output would be only head and the entropy is zero. So this helps us understand that when there are large number of outcomes, the entropy is high. Okay, let us see how the pixels are converted into a pure, random, secure, and also non-repeating keys. The lava lamps produces a raw visual data which are captured by a camera, and then it is processed into a function which is using time, both the and the placements and the where the lava lamps, how the patterns are, and it calculates and it sends the function into a random hash function which is used to generate different random bits and make them into a one single secure key. Okay, let us look into how pixels are converted into a pure randomness. These There are thousands of lava lamps in the wall, as I said. So the lava lamps show different patterns each and every time. These patterns are captured by a camera and are sent into a function which is converts the data into a function Now, this function is totally unique each and every time, as we get a different value each and every time. So, this raw data is converted into the function and sent into a cryptographic conversion method that converts these images, raw images, into a physical, not physical, into a random bits of cryptographic operations to convert it into a secure key or a cryptographic key that can be used to secure our message. Okay, basically this uses hashing for its usage. Let's see what is hashing. Hashing is something that is used to separate different types of data from different types of data in order to make it easier for us to convert it into a secure key. What hashing does? Hashing collects a raw data into an function. The data may be unfiltered, noisy, or like mostly it is a physical photo data from lava lamps and bubble tubes, etc. Now, these are sent into a function of cryptographic hashing, which gives us output in form of different buckets, which are then stored to the buckets. And next, it is used to remove the biases by using some outlier reduction, missing value treatment, and finally, we would get a uniformly distributed function, not function values, which can be then which are totally random and which then can be converted into secure keys that can be used for our message encryption and decryption. Okay, let us look into bubble tube. What are bubble tubes? Bubble tubes are the simplest structures. They have a tube which is filled with water and air is sent through it continuously, creating a virtual display of different bubbles in it. So let us simply say how this generates chaos. See, the bubbles are sent in a form and the light from the surroundings refracts through that bubble and gives us a different pattern each and every time we look into it. So bubble tubes output is depend on the sunlight or the lights around it and the size of the bubble, and also this is so random because none of these are guessable or re-engineerable. So mostly bubble tubes is a cheapest form of lava lamps that can be used in order to produce a cheap and secure key. Okay, let us basically see the difference between lava lamps and bubble tubes. Lava lamps are basically aesthetic and organic, while bubble tubes cannot be looking that so good as lava lamps but are cheaper version and it can be easily maintainable. While these lava lamps require a higher maintenance and also it requires a bubble replacement each and every time for a better output. The lava lamps are slower in motion, creating so we get a lower number of different keys for an second, for an time period. Also, the bubble tubes are so fast we can get lot number of secure keys between a time period, and you can easily increase the number of bits or a number of things using a bubble tube just by adding it. But installing a lava lamp is so difficult. Okay. How to generate a key and also keep that key so trustable. We have to for that we have to know about some things. First is raw entropy input. Raw entropy input is nothing but a raw data collected from a lava lamp or a bubble tube that is can be converted into a key that is so random. Let us take first the first ever random key is generated, that is known as seed. This seed can be most random number and the next values are generated from this. If it is in PRNG, next values will be produced and later on a pattern will be followed. But in but usually in physical chaos, this doesn't work the same way. Let us look into key derivation. What is a key derivation? Key derivation is nothing but a cryptographic function that is also known as KDF. So what does this KDF do? It takes in a raw data from a lava lamp or a bubble tube and just sends into a cryptographic derivation function which then converts the raw data into a secure key that can be used to encrypt and decrypt a message. And also these keys are so random, and now these random seeds are mostly generated through this. Why are these keys used and why the keys should be so random? Let us look into the reasons. We use these kind of keys data in data related applications like TLS, VPNs, and session tokens. Session tokens should be like so private that only the user has access to it, and also VPNs are used to hide their own network or like have a secure key from secure passage where attackers don't attack. So these places require so random secure keys that not even so that they are not even predictable. Okay, let us look into the real world applications of these keys. First application is web security. As we saw later before, these are used to create tokens that are so random, and these tokens are used to encrypt and decrypt the web usages. Mainly it is used in HTTPS, TLS and VPN. And also next we see VPN secure tunnels. These secure tunnels are mostly used to protect privacy and ensure data integrity over public networks. So these keys are so secure keys that not even the uh, other, like if I'm using the thing, not even the company providing me the VPN should know the key. So it should be so secure that it should be so random, it should be so chaotic, and it should not follow any pattern so that I could decode it. Also, these are used to save the passwords. In order to save the password, we need to generate a key that we can open a lock and look into the password. So saving this password is so important because it is one of the most sensitive data that can be used to hack into anything. So these are encrypted by using a random key that only the user and the saving wallet knows. So now these are used to unlock and see the different passwords. And the last but not least application is cryptocurrency wallets. We know that people spend lakhs of rupees into cryptocurrency, and these should be so secure. So these wallets are almost secured by 16 words which are so random in nature, which are so uh, random in production that no one would have the same 16 words again and again. Okay, now these cryptocurrency wallets are not only used to produce these kind of keys, also it is used to produce the secure passages and passages that are used to transfer between two end users. Okay. Why we are not using algorithm? Instead, we are going for a physical chaos. Algorithm is usually deterministic. At the same input, they always produce the same output. So they are easily predictable. These can be so easily re-engineered. What is the danger of weakness this possesses? The main danger of weakness is that this algorithm can be reproduced and same key can be reproduced, and they can visit into the other cryptographic wallets, hack into passwords, and easily access others' data. While a physical chaos being a true randomness, it ensures unpredictability, and it is essential for a strong cryptographic security. Okay, where these entropies can be used. Where these entropies can be used, or like what kind of entropy can be used in the future. Main entropy we can use is quantum randomness. What is quantum randomness? Looking into the quantum sizes, we may see the movements of electrons and protons. So when we look into the nuclei, the protons keep on moving. These movements can be used to produce a truly random numbers from their positions or some kind of hash functions, and create an totally random secure key which cannot be reproduced or which even cannot be looked again, because like there is so changing. Looking into two different nucleus, finding a key from it and joining it, we may get each and every time we may get a different keys. Let us look into radioactive decay. How radioactive decay can be used? See, isotopes are pure source of entropy. By saying this, I also mean it is through energy and also a different number of photons it is ejecting per time period. So simply we can say that when it is a pure source of entropy, we can capture whether the energy is coming to it or like some little protons coming to it can differently be used to obtain a key, and it is so unbiased and we can use it for so many cryptographic applications, which is like which is best for an secure key generation and also a secure key generation and also a guarantee that attackers can't even find the what the key is. And also final last but not least, we can use biological sources to create an chaotic function that gives us a different key every time, such as neural firing, DNA replication can be used for cryptographic randomness, which gives us a high quality non-recursive cryptic keys which can be used for encryption. Okay. Okay, let us see how this lava let us see how Lavarand works in entropy. First, it captures the video and it sends to a function that extracts the pixel data. Next, it is sent into a hashing function which extract the value that can be converted into a hash function which gives us a number, and this number is so unbiased and it is so random, so it can be put into a cryptographic key seeding, and it generates a random composition of cryptic keys which can be used for future security and future security and future attackers defensive mechanism from attackers. And finally, cryptographic key seeding, which gives us a random numbers every time we seed a different source, and it acts as a strong source for a different cryptic key generation and defensive mechanism from an attacker. Okay, let us come into a conclusion. Why are physical chaos majorly used? It is high in entropy and it is unpredictable, and it can be produced from practical and scalable sources like lava lamps and bubble tops, even a movement of a tree leaves falling from a tree. It can be used to produce a global security, which is like mostly preventing the attackers from attacks, and we can build a more secure platform later on, which produces a greater attack greater defense mechanism to attacks and ensures we have a safe browsing. Thank you for listening.